Retreaters, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry about my appearance. This video is we're starting off strong. I am not very dressed in a very vintage-esque way that, I love because it is hot. It's today in Colorado. It's very muggy. The air quality is horrendous. It's like humid hot. It's like not that bad, but it's just humid. And Colorado has a very dry heat, so yeah, it's not what I'm used to. So got the hair in a ponytail, got like a throwaway tank top and some bike shorts, and yeah, what better way to do a try on video than a muggy day like today. Anyways, if you've come to this video, you might have seen the title of why the heck did I stop dressing vintage? And recently I've come to terms with, I just love the vintage style, and like, just this video is about me. It's about a lot, but it's about my vintage love. So anyways, let's just start. So I've always loved the vintage aesthetic. Vintage, in my opinion, is like, when I say vintage in this video, I mean 1950s, 1940s, sometimes even 60s, sometimes even like 30s, but mainly the 40s and 50s, like hourglass silhouette, late 40s, and early 60s, like the hourglass silhouette. I have always loved like that style, and I feel like it started at a young age, just because like my grandma, she was, early, I think, teenager in the late 50s, and seeing her photos just really sparked like my love for the vintage fashion, as well as like seeing her like, just, she always loved like period dramas. Her favorite was like Pride and Prejudice and like The Phantom of the Opera, and like her love for the past like inspired my love for the past almost. And I always love a good historical fiction book, like Nightingale, heck yeah. I'm a sucker for a good World War II, even World War I, just like historical fiction. Yeah, so I've always loved like just the whole vintage aesthetic, not the values. Although like I do love like the homesteading ideal, like owning a farmhouse, being like practicing slow living, so yeah, I've always loved like the 1950s aesthetic in like pretty outfits, grew up loving period dramas, and that has like been sparked my love for the past, like the dressing, and so it wasn't until like 2019, 2018, 2019, when I actually started realizing people actually dress like they used to in the 1950s in a more modern way, and I've discovered Rachel Maxey, and like back then it was her channel was The Air Effect, but with Love Christina. And back then also Rachel Maxey was the pinup companion. So I've always like loved the vintage aesthetic. 2018, 2019, I started realizing and discovering channels that are more curated towards the vintage dressing aesthetic. and or at least it was back then. But I still love Rachel Maxey and with love Christina. Um, love love their content. But they inspired me to actually start dressing more vintage, and so I bought my first vintage dress, which I don't think I have a picture of, but it was like a collective dress that was gingham, and it was like their swing dress, and it had like gingham and I think like lace at the top. If you guys know, you know. But that was my first like reproduction dress, and I just fell in love. And I learned how to do my hair, and I tried to do it every day, but it's a lot hard. Especially when I had longer hair too. So I found like different styles to like do my hair, like with like the milkmaid braids, putting like a turban on, or like a head what headscarf. But yeah, always. So I started dressing more in a vintage way. I'm gonna put some photos while I talk, but yeah, and I just really fell in love, and I found myself in the vintage aesthetic, and I found like a great way to express myself, and yeah, I just had a blast. I wore red lipstick and everything. And then about 2020, 2021 hit, and I discovered that I had a lot more sensory issues, and they just kind of like accumulated for me. For me, when I get sensory issues, if something I don't like is on my body, I will hyperfixate on it, and I will not stop until it's off my body. So I think it is. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I have anxiety, and I overthink a lot. So I think that I know that like sensory issues can correlate with anxiety. Um, yeah. So yeah, I've realized I like didn't realize it at the time, but I just knew that I didn't like specifically wearing red lipstick. That's when it first started. Wait, no, it was actually the hair that first like was the downfall of my not wearing vintage anymore. Yeah, so the hair just really curly. I mean, I'm gonna take down my hair, but my hair, just to show you, is naturally kind of curly wavy. And it curls a lot more in the humidity. So when I'm like down on a trip to the more humid states, it curls a lot more. But it is very curly, curly wavy, and because it's like wavy on top and then it's like curly at the bottom. But anyways, yeah. So um, my hair's already naturally curly, but I curled it even more to like match the aesthetic, and the curls were not it. Let me just tell ya, they got in my face. It was really poofy, and I do not like styling my hair that much every day. Um, and I do not like the poof. It was like poof, and like it really messed with my sensory issues. Like I just wanted it to be down. Mom will tell you when she styles my hair, like she's like, you need to do this, and I do not like it when my hair's like that. I do this, but I like try to flatten it as much as I can, and then I complain that it's flat. But yeah, it's like something that I like hyper fixate on, and I just stopped curling my hair because it was just causing so many issues in my mind and on my body, and I just my body did not like it. So that was what sparked that. And then I then became hyper fixated on my red lips. So I stopped wearing red lipstick. I used to wear the Maybelline Superstay, I think it's called, 24-hour Superstay or something. And I used to wear that, and like, because I don't like it when it rubs off, you know? But this one, like, you know, it would dry and it would drive me crazy. I didn't like the way my lips felt when they are, I don't like the way my lips feel when they're like dry and kind of like just not, it just messed with my sensory issues too, and I kept like hyper fixating on it, and I'm like, I need to take off this lipstick because it's like it's dry, you know. And so I would wipe it off, but since it's a 24 super stay, some of the residue would stay, and it just drove me crazy. So I stopped wearing red lipstick or lipstick in general. I stopped styling my hair, and at that point, you know, I was, because of like the retro community, and all the very beautiful hairstyles and everything, and the beautiful makeup that everybody does, I felt like I was out of place and not retro enough or vintage enough. And so I ended up I ended up stopping like buying reproduction dresses from Collective. By then, Lindy Bop closed down, so I stopped doing that. Um, then, like, that also helped with me not dressing in a more vintage way, because like I really loved Lindy Bop, and then I realized, like, you know, oh, they're shutting down. I'm like, fine, I'm not gonna buy them anymore, you know, because I can't. But anyways, and just so you know, they opened up again. But yeah, so it was just a whole mess, and I ended up stop wearing like dressing in a vintage way. Around then, I also started working at Maurice's, and more into fashion retail, like the current like trends and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love a good Maurice's, you know, but yeah, that also helped with my downfall of dressing vintage. And since then, like, I started 2022, stopped dressing vintage, and I, like, you know, I've actually, like, just stopped dressing vintage, and I've, like, accumulated so much clothes because I'm trying to fill the void of my, like, I miss vintage, I want to dress in a vintage way, you know, hole in my heart, you know. So yeah, anyways, I ended up getting rid of a lot of my very small collection of reproduction dresses, and yeah, I stopped dressing vintage. But it wasn't until recently I actually ordered a dress from Collective, and it's the orange dress I will show you. But it just, receiving the package really made me feel so good, so happy. I was ecstatic, you know, to receive the item. So I, you know, I decided right then and there, because of that excitement, and like when I buy stuff from like Maurice's or the thrift store or Lane Bryant now, I, like, you know, before I was just like buying just to buy, and I didn't really fully 100% love the items I was buying. But now I'm like I realize that like you should really love the items you're buying. And so I ended up deciding right then and there to try to dress more in a vintage way, and be more inspired by like the vintage aesthetic. Even if I'm not wearing reproduction clothes or anything, I'm still gonna be trying to be inspired by vintage wear. So yeah. Anyways, this is the video. It's very rambly and just me talking and about my love for the vintage aesthetic, even through books and reading. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. Also, I got my cat eye glasses too, which also sparked my love for wanting to dress vintage now. I recently got these this year. But anyways, yeah. So, you probably are here for my current vintage collection. So, without further ado, I'm just going to go through them. I will be listing where I got them in the little try-on clips. sometimes the items will not fit you. You gotta really measure yourself, and it's a lot of like flat lay items that like are measured flat. And then so yeah, I ended up buying this collective skirt that was new in the bag. And wasn't even thinking about my hips. My waist is a lot smaller than my hips. And it's just this cute pencil skirt. It's a size UK 20. I'm usually a UK 22. That fits me perfect. Sometimes I could just like put stuff over. Don't have to unzip. So that's why I figured, I'm like, well, my waist is a little smaller, so maybe this pencil skirt will fit. Well, it fits my waist. The hips, however, are a different story. And I do not know if I want to like resell this item. I only got it for 20 bucks. Or if I want to like try to lose the weight and try to fit in it next year. I don't know. So yeah, I mean that's the girl struggle, or even guy struggle. They struggle for ya that we all know. Oh, maybe it'll fit next year. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, hopefully, I think I might actually do more like additions to my collection, if you will, of vintage reproduction items. Because, let me tell you, I actually got a couple more items coming on Poshmark. So, yeah, when they arrive, I'll have a full ass video for you guys. But anyways, yeah, let me know if you want to continue on with the series. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below what is your favorite piece I'm wearing. But yeah, without further ado, have a good day. Have a nice time. Yeah. I will also be posting 3 times this week because the last 2 weeks I've missed posting just because work is hectic. I work 2 jobs, or actually technically 3. So yeah, it's a lot. I have free time, but I don't necessarily film videos on my free time. But anyways, hopefully I will definitely be starting to a lot more. But yeah, ramble over. Yeah.